Hello everyone, this is your English teacher, Miss Kiho. Welcome back to my class again. In today's video, we'll be learning about the poem If, written by Rudyard Kipling. You'll find this in your English book from page 31 till 37. Let's discuss about the poem, but before we do that, let's get to know more about the poet Rudyard Kipling. You'll find a brief biography of him on page 34. Rudyard Kipling's full name was Joseph Rudyard Kipling. He was born on Mumbai on 30th December 1865 and he died on London, UK, 18th January 1936. He died when he was 70 years old. Now, Rudyard Kipling, he was an English journalist, short story writer, poet and novelist. He was also the first person to receive the Nobel Prize in Literature on English language when he was nominated by Charles Oman, who was a professor at Oxford University. He got the Nobel Prize on 1907. He is a very popular writer of his time. He is best known for his works like The Jungle Book and Captain Courageous, and also the poem that we're going to study about today, that is If, etc. Now, that is about the writer. Let's come back to the poem. Now, the poem titled If is a long list of conditionals. Here, this poem is written in the form of a paternal advice to the poet's son, reminding him about the consequences of his actions and also encouraging him to behave or conduct himself in a good way. Now, the poem here, before we get into detail, the poem also explores the theme of manhood, confidence, humility, etc. And also the speaker here. It's in the second person. He reminds us, or he gives us the importance of being confident and, being humble as well. And also, being balanced as well throughout our life. And in this poem, he has, throughout the poem, from the beginning till the end, he focuses on the qualities that we need to have in order to become good human beings. And he gave us all these guidelines in this poem that if we behave in this particular manner or if we follow all these guidelines, we will become good human beings. Now, let's get into the poem. Let me read the first. This poem is a lyrical poem. It is, divided into 4 stanzas, having 8 lines each. Now let's read the first stanza first. If you have the textbook with you, you can go through with me. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing days and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowances for the doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting or being lied about, don't deal in lies. Or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. Here, like I've said, the poem begins with a set of conditionals. The poet reminds us that, this first stanza is about the calmness, maintaining calmness and composure. Here, since we have discussed about this poem being written in the form of a paternal advice to the poet's son, we can also argue about the universality of the message. This, the contents of this poem, the message, is not relevant only for the Kipling's son, but it's also relevant to every one of us. So we need to keep that in mind as well. Now, the poem begins here. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing this and blaming it on you. Now here, see, the first few lines talks about us keeping calm and composure. Now, when other people start blaming you or when people started losing their calmness or composure, we have to keep calm. We have to believe in ourselves and we also, need to maintain some composure. And also, the third line talks about if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you. Here, trusting ourselves, having confidence in ourselves is very important in our life. You have to trust yourself even when other people, doesn't trust you, but make allowances for the doubting too. Here you also think about it, why the people are doubting you. You have to realize it. You also have to make allowance. That means try to accept it. Why are they having doubts against you? And also, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, Here, this line talks about being patient. Most of the time, we feel so restless, we feel impatient. The poet is trying to urge his son to have patience in life, that he needs to have patience. And when we have patience, we have to try not to get too tired of it, not to get too exhausted. And also, we don't have to lie about it. Now, when people start, talking about lies, when people lie about us, we have to, try to adjust with it. And also, when people talk about us, we don't have to talk back against them. We don't have to lie against other people, even when people lie about us. And also, when people hate us, we don't have to hate other people. Now, we are living in such a world where we get, to meet lots of people, different kind of people. So when we meet those kind of people who hate us or who, lie about us, we have to be calm, we have to maintain a composure, and we don't have to become like them by hating them or by lying to them. And also, after maintaining all these kind of qualities in life, you also don't have to be arrogant, don't have to be proud of yourself. You don't have to, talk too wise, like you don't have to talk like you know everything. You have to maintain composure. You have to, act. You have to show everyone that you are humble. Means that you have to remain humble. So this, the first stanza talks about, everyone talks about, us having all these qualities about not dealing in lies, not hating other people, and also having a patience, having calmness, and having composure. That is about the first stanza. Now let's get to the second stanza. Second stanza: if you can make dream and not make your dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you have spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools. Knaves here you can find the meaning as an dishonest person. And also impostors here you can find it as someone pretending to be someone else, a trickster. Now let's discuss about the second stanza. The second stanza, talks about, he gives advices on our thoughts and actions, how our thoughts and actions should be to become a better human being. Now, the first two lines talk about if we can dream but not make dream our master. Like the poet is giving advices to us that, we have to dream, but we don't have to make dreams our master, in a way that, we should not allow the dreams to control us in our thoughts and action. And also we have to think about, whatever comes to our mind, but we should not make our thoughts our aim. Meaning, like I've said, we should not let our thinkings and our dreams control us. And the next two lines talk about if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same. Here, now, as a person, we meet both with triumph and disaster in life. Triumph means winning, and disaster means losing here. So we meet both situations, but our emotions towards both should be same. Our emotions, our reactions towards victory as well as defeat should be same. Our influence as well. Now those two has been called as imposters because they actually determine what our thinkings, where our thinkings lay or where our actions lay. And sometimes people tend to react or people tend to take actions basing on the victory or defeat. So the poet is reminding us not to let those control us, and since they are the tricksters, they are not going to stay with us forever, we should treat them equally. Now coming to the next two lines, if you can bear to hear the truth you have spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools. Now, sometimes, we also need to have the patience, we also need to be brave to hear the truth. To hear the truth we have spoken, but, twist it, okay? Being manipulated by others, by, dishonest people, and so that they can make a trap for us, they can fool us. We have to understand that. We have to be brave to hear all our words coming out from the dishonest people's mouth. we have to be brave. And also watch the things you give your life to broken. And also be brave enough to watch the things, for your hard work, it may tumble down, it may fall down, but you have to be brave enough, to watch them fall into pieces, but also be brave and bend down, pick them up, and then build them again or fix them again with the worn out tools. We have to be brave about that. That is it about the second stanza. The second stanza, like we have discussed, it talks about our thoughts and actions, how we have to, deal with them, how we don't have to let them control us, and how we have to be brave to, watch the things which has already been broken, and also bear to hear the truth, we have spoken, which has been manipulated by dishonest people. Now let's come to the third stanza. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and receipt on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there's nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. Now, the third stanza gives advices on perseverance, about never giving up. Here, now, this stanza also gives us a concept of failure and success. We should be brave to have the motivation. We should, we need encouragement in life. So here, this stanza, the first few lines talks about if we can be brave enough to, collect all our winnings, all our hard works, like in a kind of a bundle, and then, you just risk it at one go. You just lose everything, at one go. All your hard work, all your earnings, everything that you own, you risk it at one go, and then, you lose it. And then, after losing it, again start from the beginning. After losing everything, you have nothing. And then you need to be brave enough to start from the beginning. But also, you need to, you don't have to tell anyone about your loss. How you, lost all your winnings, or how you lost all your hard work. You don't have to tell anyone. You don't have to boast about it to anybody else. You just have to keep calm. You don't have to breathe even a single word about it to anyone. And also, but after, losing everything at one go, we should not tell anyone, and also we should keep going. We should keep going, we should force our, hearts and emotions, everything, and then keep pushing to our limits as far as we can go to achieve what we have already lost. And, of course, that there's nothing in you except the will to say, hold on. And then, the willpower is the greatest of all. You have to hold on to your willpower and then keep on going as far as you will go, like I've already said, so that you can build them up, everything which we have lost. You need to be brave enough to start from the beginning. This stanza talks about, the third stanza talks about not giving up, having perseverance, and starting from the beginning again without breathing a word about it to anyone. Now let's come back, let's go to the last stanza. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch, if neither false nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if we can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of a distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. Now, here the last stanza talks about achieving success in life, how to achieve success. Now, keeping our individuality and goodness, even when talking with different type of people, is very important. Now, if you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, having virtue in oneself is very important for us. Now you meet different type of people. You meet common people, high class people, low class people, but you still keep your virtue. You don't change your nature, your good nature, but you still become about it. You still be the same. You don't have to lose a common touch. Whether you work with the kings, kings here refers to the high class people. With the powerful people, with the influential people. But even when you work with them, or even when you get acquainted with them, you should not lose the common touch. That means you should not forget who you are. And not only with the king, not only with the powerful people, but even with the common people, you should not forget about that. And also here, the next line talks about bravery as well. You have to make yourself so strong that neither your friends nor your enemies can hurt you. Force here refers to the enemies. Synonym of force is enemies. So you should make yourself strong in such a way that neither your friend or your enemies can hurt you. Here we are not talking about physical hurt, but we are talking about the emotional hurt that we get from friends or enemies. We should make ourselves strong in such a way that no one can hurt us. And also, here, when achieving higher status in life, we should remind ourselves. We should not be too proud. The people has to be with us, but not too much. That leads to the obsession. Being obsessed is not good. The people has to be with you, but not up to the extent of being obsessed about it. And now here, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of a distance run. Hey, this, 2 lines talks about making use of our time wisely. Making use of our time wisely, we have to make use of our time wisely in order to achieve the success, or in order to achieve our aims and goals that we have in life. We don't have to waste a single minute, or we don't have to waste a single second. And we really have to do everything. We have to follow all the given qualities which the poet has given us. And if we follow all those kind of, all those qualities in life, then the earth will be ours. And also not only the earth, but everything that is in the earth will be ours. And most of all, what you'll be is, you'll be a good person. Here the last line, the poet is trying to convey the last line, that it takes greater strength to be a man or a woman. And we really need to have the strength. So here this poem talks about following all the qualities, following all the guidelines the poet has given us. If we follow all this, we'll become a good human being. And it is very important, like we've talked about it in the beginning. It's not, this poem is not relevant only for the poet's son, but every one of us here. This is important, the qualities that he has given, having the patience, being confident in ourselves, but not too overconfident or being arrogant. We have to, we have to love ourselves. We have to trust ourselves. We don't have to deal in lies. We don't have to tell others, tell other people lies. Or we don't have to hate other people. If we follow all these things in life, we will become a really good human being in this world. Now that is the end of the poem. The poem, okay? The poem has a personal, emotional, and a motivational tune, which is intended, to inspire and encourage the readers, to become a good human being. This poem, the speaker has given us, enough reasons. He has given us all the qualities that a man needs or that a woman needs, okay, in order to become fully mature and, dependent and independent as well. To become fully matured and independent and also strong in our own character. Now, this poem is solely intended to teach the readers about achieving success, happiness, and fulfillment in life. That is the end of the poem. This is the end of today's lesson. I'll see you in the next class.